whether it's either of them or they just rented. So moving on, we do have another woman in the same general area where they live. Her name is Teddi Mellencamp. She used to be on this show, Beverly Hills Housewives, but she's not anymore. Her date of birth is July 1st in 1981. So
Another Cancer.
yeah, she is a Cancer.
Hmm.
That seems so she's going through, well, what do you see for her? I guess what are your before we get into it, what are your feelings on this woman, Teddi Mellencamp?
I mean, this feels like somebody who I think she's very polarizing. It feels like she can be very blunt and direct. But I think she is, for the most part, pretty honest. Now, I do feel like she can be very judgmental, and I think that's kind of coming back to bite her. Um, so this feels like she has one romance that's falling apart and another one that is, I guess, blossoming. Um, is she fully divorced yet? Is she still married?
She is still married. She is getting a divorce.
He's seeing someone else for sure. Um,
And she's very tight-lipped, right? There's some rumors that there's some another guy involved.
I would say that's what I'm picking up on. And, the thing about it is it kind of feels like karma in action, where I think, we think of karma as like a scoreboard. You do something bad happens to you. But in reality, that energy will come back to really teach us and help us grow. And I do feel like I'm seeing a lot of symbols for her being very judgmental of other people. And so, you know, we all have free will, but I think she's found herself in a romantic situation now that is making her rethink her past judgments of others. And so I think that that's going to be a learning experience for her.
Do you think, because there is a rumor that she's maybe having an affair with her horse trainer. I don't know that, like, she hasn't really confirmed that or denied it. So technically we don't even know if she's in, but you feel that she is
I
interested in
feel,
someone.
I would say, I do think that she is, when you brought that up, the energy lights up. So I'm going to say yes. I do believe she is having an affair or was having an affair and still is seeing this person. It does feel like this person was married, I think, when they started seeing each other. I don't know if they are now, but it also feels like this person's wife or ex-wife um, would be able to confirm. It feels like that's the person who actually discovered the affair.
And do you see, I mean, Teddy has a podcast that she kind of does the same thing I do, although different. And I haven't listened, but apparently she has been judgmental on there. So maybe that's what you're saying. Like, I think on there, she has
Mhm.
talked about people and affairs on other shows. And I think she has had opinions on that, I believe.
Yeah, and I think that this is giving her new perspective, especially because I don't judge people. I think, if I was someone else and I lived every moment of their life and I walked in their shoes, I would do the exact same thing that they did. Um, but I will say that I think her husband's that she cheated on, technically, she was cheated on a lot. Like it feels like she's still accountable for her decisions, but I feel like she felt very justified in having this affair.
Like, you feel what? That her husband cheated on her a bunch, is what you're sensing.
I'm seeing a lot of infidelity on his part. It feels like he's someone who really needs a lot of validation. It feels very ego driven. And so, people have different vices. I think his is getting validation from women. And so I think she's been dealing with that for a long time.
Interesting. Yeah, I am not a judgmental person either. The only person I judge is myself. In my
Hmm.
old age, I am learning to be kind to myself and not be so hard to myself and not judge myself, because if nobody else is perfect, why the hell do I have to be perfect myself? I tend to
Exactly.
hold myself to a higher standard but I do not have any judgment for anyone else in the world. Well, that is possible. There are rumors that he has cheated. Where do you see kind of next year, or like at least the beginning of next year that we're about to be in, going for Teddy? Like, is this a mess? Is it, is this Dorit and PK? You see kind of amicable things for them. Is this a mess? Is Teddy, is it all going to work out? Like, what do you see for Teddy, like romantically? Do you get any feelings?
I definitely feel like they are going to separate. I also feel like I think her and I guess the horse trainer is the person that I'm seeing like this affair partner. I think they're going to remain friends, but at the same time, he's unfaithful too. And so I think she recognizes that. I think they really do have a genuine connection, but at the same time, why would you get out of one situation and get into pretty much the same one with someone else that you just like better right now? Um, so I actually don't see, I see a lot of her closing the chapter on those romantic connections. Um, I don't see a whole lot of dating in 2025. It feels like she's going to be very focused on career, very focused on finance. Like she is a very, very driven, tenacious person. And so I think that's really where she's going to be focused.
And not a lot of dating. Do you see a lot of dating for, not to jump all around, but for Dorit?
Mm, oh, here's the thing. I don't think that Dorit is planning on dating. I think that she is working on herself, and I think that's exactly what she needs to be doing. Um, but I do feel like she is going to meet someone. This does feel like it would be late spring, summer like time frame when the seasons start to change. And I do think she's going to meet someone who is very grounded, very calm, very well balanced, and I think that she's going to be kind of drawn into that.
Very wealthy.
Yeah, I would say financial stability is the term I like to use.
I mean, I don't want to put that out there. I'm just saying that that's a question that, I mean, it is Beverly Hills, so
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so for late spring, we'll keep an eye on Dorit and Teddy. We'll just, yeah, I mean, that makes sense sometimes, the one that you're on the rebound with. Well, I have more relationship questions for a woman, since we're on this, for a woman named Bethenny Frankel. Now, her name is Bethenny Frankel. She is born 11/4 1970. She was
Scorpio.
on, right. So we're leaving Scorpio, we're leaving Beverly Hills. She was on a show called The Real Housewives of New York. She lives in New York and Connecticut and the Hamptons. She actually, some say, well, let me not even give you anything. I keep forgetting. Just tell me what you feel for Bethenny, and then I can get into some details.
So this is a very interesting person. Um, I really like her. I feel very much like she is somebody who can come across very cold, and calculating, which is not unusual with Scorpios. Scorpios are actually very, very passionate people. But outwardly, they can be extremely mysterious, extremely secretive.